The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros. Vasily Lomachenko is willing to step aside to allow Gervonta Tank Davis to fight Shakur Stevenson. That was reported by Coach Kenny. So we're going to take a look at what Coach Kenny said, and we're going to take a look at what Shakur was wearing, and then we'll discuss it. So as you can see, this is breaking news from Coach Kenny Ellis. He trains Gervonta Tank Davis, one of Gervonta's trainers. He wrote, breaking news. Loma said he will step aside and let Gervonta Davis fight Shakur Stevenson this fall, and he'll fight the winner early 2025. So this is coming from Coach Kenny Ellis, so that's a very reliable source as he trains Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, this is what Shakur wore on his, because this was his last fight with Top Rank, and this is the shirt he had on. So as you can see, this is his shirt. And Shakur Stevenson's shirt after his win over Artem Harutyunyan, picture of Vasily Lomachenko with Bob Arum on the front, and the words, Bob is saving his son from this A-whipping on the back. So you can see this is the shirt right here. Bob is saving his son from this A-whipping, the picture of Bob Arum and Vasily Lomachenko on the front. So I'm going to turn to you, Trill Dollar Bill. Shakur Stevenson is now a free agent, so he can fight with anyone. Top Rank didn't re-sign him, although it was reported that they offered him a $15 million deal for 5 fights. Your reaction to all this and potentially Loma stepping aside for Tank to fight Shakur?
When I first heard the 15 million for 5 fights, I first was like, yeah, that's a little bit of a low ball number. I was like, maybe add a couple more M's on it, maybe another like 2 or 3, but then I don't know his earning potential and what he's been doing and what type of fights. Like, I don't want him to sign something crazy, right? A 5-fight deal for 15 million, and then they try to put him in there with the big names. You know what I'm saying? And he don't get compensated like how he was supposed to, you know? So I was like, maybe he could negotiate it. That's what negotiations is about. You know what I'm saying? You go back and forth and try to negotiate something better. I don't know if he tried to do that or he just seen the offer and he was out. But I do think that, you know, maybe they could have worked something out better with that. I do know he doesn't bring them in like that. So, you know, from for the outside looking in, top ring looking like, this is fair. This is more than fair. You know what I'm saying? This is more than fair. You know what I'm saying? But he's probably looking at it like, if these big fights do end up being made, and these guys do bring in a crowd like the Tanks and stuff like that, these other guys he's fighting, he wants a little extra change. So I do understand that scenario. It's looking like, right? Shakur wants Loma. You know what I'm saying? Even Tank wanted Loma, you know. And Loma's just chilling. He said, you know, Loma said, y'all both want me so bad, fight it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, he playing like Loma playing like the hot chick in high school. You know what I'm saying? And these are the two jocks, you know what I'm saying, who like her. You know what I mean? So, hey, y'all going to have to fight it out. And whoever wins, you know what I'm saying, get to take Loma out on a date. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he's looking at it. He said, y'all two fight for my affections. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and we can get it on. Because that's basically what they made Loma you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They made him, like, you know how we always say, you know, why guys fail in type of relationships when it comes to females. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all, no, for real, Kate, I'm gonna tell them my secret. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, listen. Go ahead. Do you? Yo, hold
The
up.
reason why is
Hold
because
up.
guys, guys tend to put women on these pedestals, right? And that's what they're doing with Loma. So Loma, they put Loma on this pedestal like he's the prize. So he is playing like he's the prize. You see, I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up, bro.
You're putting it on a pedestal. Hey, listen, I'm not saying that I agree with what you're saying. Go ahead.
They put it on the pedestal, and that's what they do. They put it Loma on this pedestal, so now he's the guy to beat. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy to beat, and he feels like if you get his name, you know what I'm saying, on your resume, then you accomplish something, and you're the man. You know what I'm saying? So Loma is sitting back like, sure, if y'all want my name so bad and y'all want this date, then y'all fight each other. You know, I'm willing to step aside to see y'all fight for my affections. You know what I'm saying? And look, that would be a good fight because that's what people have been talking about. Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson's been going at Tank, you know, and Tank's been going at him. It's a bad blood fight that people want to see. And the only thing I'm looking at it that doesn't sit well with me is what's Loma going to be doing in the meantime, in between time. Because like everybody is saying, he's getting older, and I don't want it to be one of these cases after these guys do fight each other. No, depending who the winner is going to be, once they get in there with Loma, the excuse is Loma was too old. I know I'm saying a whole bunch of crap right now, but what I'm trying to say,
That's legit. That's legit.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, is Loma's willing to do this? What is Loma going to do in the meantime? Is he gonna have a stay busy fight because he is getting older, you know, and people are gonna be saying like, take the credit away from these two fighters by saying that they fought an aging Lomachenko who sat there and waited for a year, for these guys to get it on, So I think it's cool because people want to see Tank and Shakur, but I also think that it could be a problem later on in the road if Loma is not staying busy, and getting the credit for this victory of fighting Loma, who they put on the pedestal.
No,
I said a lot.
No. I mean, you said a lot of valuable things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to separate myself from the whole relationship aspect of it, but other than that, the boxing related stuff. Putting it on a pedestal. All right, but look, my thing is Bob Arum doesn't want to give Shakur Vasily Lomachenko because Shakur hasn't re-signed. And again, this is a business, and this goes into people trying to tell me, right? Like, promoters don't make the fights. It's the managers. No, promoters make the fights, bro. They have the stable, they have the veto power. You think Shakur's management team doesn't want Vasily? Vasily's management team could want Shakur. But Bob is saying, no. That fight will not happen because it's not to my benefit. And it's not to Bob Arum's benefit because Shakur isn't signed to Top Rank long term. So what he's saying to Shakur is, you can get the Vasily fight, but there's this $15 million offer for 5 fights. You sign that, you get Vasily. You don't sign that. It's not in Top Rank's best interest for you to fight Vasily. Although that fight between Vasily and Shakur would be a title unification fight, it's in both of their best interests. It's not in the best interest of Top Rank. And you got to remember, Top Rank has never prioritized boxing. They let Floyd buy himself out of his contract, and then he went on to become the biggest pay-per-view draw in the history of the sport. Remember that, because Shakur has the potential to do that. He even let Andy Ruiz out of his contract, and then Andy Ruiz went on to pull off the biggest upset in boxing history. Well, not the biggest, one of the biggest upsets in boxing history, and revive his career. So Bob has made some mistakes. Let's not forget Oscar De La Hoya left Bob. Manny Pacquiao left Bob. So Bob is known as the star maker, but he doesn't always keep the stars, So there's that with Bob Arum. And part of the reason is Bob Arum doesn't prioritize boxing. We're going to get into a absolute tragedy that happened last night on a top rank card. But when you talk about Shakur Stevenson, his boxing ability is seen as boring. His boxing ability is being promoted as not marketable. But what makes a boxer marketable? Floyd Mayweather was the man he was because he made other champions look basic. He made other champions look average. Us seeing Shakur outclass Harutunian the way he did 119, 109 is boring because we already know Shakur is better than him. But let's just say Shakur 119s, 109s Tank. That would be entertaining because the entire time Tank is going for the knockout. Tank is going to be pressing. And it's going to be up to Shakur to discipline him. And if Shakur can get a one-sided decision against Tank, that would be entertaining. If Shakur gets a one-sided decision against Vasily Lomachenko, that would be entertaining. Because now everyone's going to be saying, he's making this guy Vasily, the man who we've seen, in my opinion, beat Devin Haney. He's making this guy the man who made the Nicholas Walters quit, the guy who made a whole, Lomachenko. If he outclasses Lomachenko, that's going to be entertaining because we're going to be like, yo, this dude is levels above Vasily. Sure, I feel you. They're going to say he was old, right? But he didn't look old against Kambosos. He didn't look old against Devin. So I don't want to hear he was old because he still showed that he has a lot left in the tank and he's still a great performer. And remember, he turned pro late anyway because of his decorated amateur career. So I don't want to hear that he's old. But again, you got to give Shakur the opportunity to outclass these guys with a name, and that's what he's not getting. And that's why people say he's not entertaining. We already know Shakur. Trill, you said it. We're going to wake up tomorrow to a unanimous decision. You already know Shakur's going to outclass Harutunian. We want to see if he could outclass Tank. We want to see if he can outclass Vasily. We want to see what he could do against those guys. But Bob has to get those fights. And if you're not going to get those fights, then we're not going to see the value of a Shakur. So to wrap this up, Vasily's willing to step aside because he doesn't want to take the hard road. He doesn't want to have to fight Shakur and then have to fight Tank. He much rather them fight each other because that's two fights. He got to fight Shakur, then he got to fight Tank. And he much rather have one fight and one of them have the two fights because he knows it's going to be two difficult fights. So, of course, he's willing to step aside. That doesn't surprise me at all. Let them beat each other up, and then hopefully you can come and wipe everyone out. That's the Devin Haney strategy. Low key, that's even what Alexander Usyk did, right? So, again, Vasily doesn't surprise me that that's what he wants to do.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know you rock it with. I'm the commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill. It's my brother, Caden, LG for life.